Hello everyone, welcome to episode 52 live with Sirus Migration. It's been a while since we got back to you. So we used to do this session every Thursday every week, but now we're doing it once a month, the first Thursday of every month. So those of you who don't know me, my name is Isuru Yapa. I'm an Australian registered migration and education agent. Here from Sirus Migration. So as usual, today we're going to discuss the latest migration information, and then we will go into live question and answer session. So if you have any migration related question that you would like to clarify, I would do my best to give you a good solution during the session, but if you need to get deep into your background of the scenario, we'll probably have to catch up for a one-on-one meeting later on. So, if you come in, if you one of our repeating clients, thank you very much for visiting us. But if you're someone new, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please hit that subscribe button in YouTube or thumbs up button in Facebook. That way you'll be the first one to know each time when we release one of the videos related to latest Australian migration related information. And if you have any questions during the live session, please type it in the comment section down below. So we will once we go through the initial part of it, we will then come back and answer most of your questions during the given time. So today we're going to talk about the latest migration updates. The latest in town is in relation to Australian migration. The due dates for student visa refunds coming up, and also the very, very exciting news for skilled migrants who's applying through the regional migration programs like 491, or if you're looking at 494 employee nominated schemes. The regional areas, or the designated regional areas in Queensland has been expanded. So I will talk a little bit more about it in a minute. Skilled migration invitation rounds, we'll talk about it in detail a bit. And we will talk about some of the breakdowns in occupations included in the 21st of January 2022 round. And we will also talk about Queensland skill migration opening for, at the moment they're open. So on top of that, we will talk to you a little bit about the latest visa grants and what sort of visas we've got within last couple of weeks. I'll get the top grants to give you an idea what sort of processing time and the background of the applicants, etc. And then I will give you enough time to have ask some questions if you have any questions that you would like to clarify during this time. So moving into the due dates for student visa refund. If you travel to Australia between 19th of January and 19th of March 2022, and if you're holding a student visa including subclass 500, 560, 571, 572, 573, 574 or 575, then it is not an automatic visa refund, so you have to go through the WHM refund model. So I think we will put the link down below after this session, or have you already put it, Mario? So we will put this link down below, so you can click on that link. It's a simple enough application. You have to create an account, free account at the Home Affairs side, and then you can put the refund application, and you can get all your immigration or visa application fees refunded. So if you came after 19th of January 2022 or before March 2000 19th of March 2022. Then you will need to click on that link and go into the site and fill it up, so you can get your visa application fee refunded. What you do with it, up to you. We won't tell the parents, but anyway. So if you need any guidance, happy to help. Just send us an email. I think it's very simple enough for you to do it yourself. We will guide you through there. And then moving forward to the next topic, this is very exciting. So in Queensland, designated areas used to be from regional areas used to be from halfway to Gold Coast. So in speak, if we go past Logan Home area onwards, it used to be regional, and then halfway to Townsville, halfway to Toowoomba, it used to be there used to be regional area. Right now they've expanded the area, so Ipswich is a regional area now, and also Moreton Bay areas. And so we will put a little bit more guidelines, so you can check which exact postcodes would be eligible. This is a very good news for people planning to get into 491 regional or 491 SBO or 494 visas too. I think mostly the 491 visas, it'll be very good news for a lot of people. So how it works, if you get sometimes you get points for it, sometimes you get your pathways designed if you were to live and work in those regional areas. So for an example, if you were to buy a business, if you were eligible applicant who's completed at least 50 points and you got full-time work rights right now, and if you had enough money with $100,000 to purchase a business in Ipswich or Moreton areas, then you can Moreton Bay areas, then you can participate in the 491 small business owner category. And actually you don't really have to purchase the business. You can establish your own business as long as you have enough time in your plate. It takes at least 2 years. Remember, the second year you have to have a profitable balance sheet with at least $200,000 turnover. So 491 SBO, your area has been expanded for small business owner category entrance. So it's very good news for Queensland migration seekers. Let's go briefly have a look at the nomination by states for 21-22 so far. Subclass 190, 491 and 180. 190 is the state nominated visa. 491 is the state nominated regional provisional visa. 190 is a permanent residence visa. 491 is a regional. 491 has further breakdown depending on the state. Like Queensland's got regional 491, and then 491 small business owner, and small business owner again being split into two different categories. And then 188 is another visa for business innovation and investment category. So looking at it, for 190, New South Wales has given the most nominations so far for 190 applicants, and second being Western Australia, which gives you an indication they're a very good state for 190 and 190 applicants. So the third is Queensland. So a lot of my Victorian clients who's asking for 190 pathways, this is a good hint. If you were to look for elsewhere, New South Wales got a lot of opportunities at the moment, seconded by Western Australia and then to Queensland. ACT and NT are the lowest. ACT, what makes it complicated is if you studied and lived in elsewhere other than ACT, metric systems going to make it hard for you. So keep an eye out for that. 491 regional ACT is given. Again, New South Wales has given a lot of nominations. That's 501 nominations within one state. Seconded by South Australia, 354, and then Western Australia is the next biggest. Again, Queensland comes to 104, Victoria is 59. So going to business visas, NT and Tasmania unfortunately have not given invitations so far for business visa clients 188 A, B, C, and E. So NT, I had few clients. I had to withdraw the application because they were taking too long to make a decision, because I think they restructuring the nomination process. So somehow, anyhow, New South Wales again and Queensland has been the top nominators for 188 visa as well. I'm pretty sure we've done a good contribution towards Queensland and New South Wales as well. In fact, we had a good visa grant today. I will come back to it later as well during the presentation. ACT and Western Australia has been active. South Australia is also a very good state, and a lot of people prefer going to South Australia for business visas as well, and the government's been very proactive, giving away the nominations. Again, Victoria's been a bit tough in a way, if I put it that way, giving away the nominations for business visas. That doesn't mean that you are not eligible. You have to be mindful about Victorian business visas, because they go through the selection process a bit different to other states. New South Wales also actually came up with a new criteria. Those who haven't gone through the 188 criteria for New South Wales, now they go through a target sector and regional target sector, which expands a little bit more. So you need to have you need to be investing into, if you come into 188A, you need to be working on target sector businesses. So that includes, gives a good range, but it includes areas like advanced manufacturing, renewable energy, recycling, etc. And then it goes up by 3 more regions if you were to go into regional areas. Sydney is a bit tougher, and the investment amount is also varies from which part of the New South Wales nomination you go through for 188 visa as well, and the business skill requirement again changes a little bit. I think I should do a bit of a video. If you like me to do a video on New South Wales new categories on business visas, feel free to type it in the comment section, and we will produce a video dedicated to that section. Queensland being a very, very good state to apply for expression of interest for businesses. Queensland's got a very, very good business visa program for 188A clients. 188B and C, pretty generic all across the country, but 188A, Queensland's got a very, very good program depending on your background and your experience, etc. Minimum points required is 65 points. So those clients who's got turnovers about 2.3, assets about 2.75, they pretty much 70 points, and they naturally eligible. So I would love to talk lots and lots more about 188 visa, but the time is limited. I will come back to you again with a video that we would be producing soon. And we'll move on to the next one with what sort of demands that Skill Select program has offered on 21st of January round. Agricultural consultants, lowest for 491 has been 80. 189's been very, very dull. Emergency medicine specialist 189, again 90, lowest score. Midwife 491, and it has been 85. Registered nurses 90 and 80, it depending on the state as well. Other exciting ones, resident medical officers been nominated at 80 points for 190 in Queensland. So I've got some invitations for accountants at 100 points in Queensland as well. So the application, the EO Skill Select program is still moving forward. It's still open. Unfortunately, 189 and also the offshore applicants do not have many opportunities at this stage, but I think this will be widely open in the coming financial year in after 1st of July 2022. So if you don't lose any hopes, if you're an offshore client looking for options, keep an eye out for it. That you'll have. I'm predicting that there'll be good opportunities with these labor shortages and the new changes and new investments coming into the country. So before we move on to so we'll move on to the next slide first, and then. Just wanted to let you know Queensland migration program is still open, and they have received 2,250 places in the nomination scheme. So there'll be lots of invitations coming up soon. I'm hoping Victoria also will start opening up invitations in coming weeks or coming months in the next quarter moving forward. So this month we had today we had a really good grant for 188 visa. Just came today. The whole family is excited and they're expecting to arrive in Australia very soon. This is a copy of their visa grant. We are so proud and excited to see them in Australia soon. We also had another visa grant for a Sri Lankan client on 24th of last month, which is about a week ago, and they're expecting to be arriving this week as well. So congratulations to these clients. And we had one of the other exciting ones is 491 small business owner. We had some grants this week, and graduate visas coming, applications going, so many applications are being lodged, as well as so the results are coming every day as well. This is only one of the highlights we had. And so I also received quite a few Global Talent Independent invitations, which we are very excited to see. They've been quite slow for a while, and now we're getting invitations. I don't know whether we don't have the slides generated for this. It was last week's grants. So we had ICT sector, financial services sector, and the other person would have been sustainable energy. I'm not too certain. So that's within last 2 weeks. So those clients, they were applied for the expression of interest around July last year, which was July 2021, July. So we had the invitations now. One of the clients got the visa granted within less than 3 weeks, and one of the new clients who's got the invitation not long ago, he's getting ready for the 858 Global Talent Visa. I'm expecting to have that visa granted very soon for him as well. He's filling up his travel information, etc. Form 80 at the moment. Form 80 takes a while for a lot of clients. If you were in the move a lot, and if you've been traveling around, moving a lot, you have a lot to fill in, and if you have large families as well. That's Global Talent Independent for you. With Global Talent Independent, we are putting up quite exciting applications these days. With Global Talent Independent, if we go back to those slides, if you have expertise in any of these target sectors, so the target sectors are into my, depending on which way you look at it, left hand side. So if you have expertise in this sector, it doesn't have to be technical expertise. It can be if you've been predominantly working in that sector, and if you have a global recognition, you may be eligible for this. The education is not education or level of English is not a big scale of eligibility criteria, even though PhD students can apply without demonstrating too much about their income. But if you were working in there as a guidance, if you are if you're earning over $158,500 an annum, and if you have global recognitions, awards, and expertise in these sectors, you're then eligible to apply for this expression of interest. Expression of interest can take a little while, but the visa is very fast. You and your family can become Australian permanent residents within matter of weeks, but expression of interest, due to the large number of applications, has been taking over 6-7 months at this stage to process. So once you get the get an invitation from this application, you then apply for your visa, and then you get your permanent residency granted. As I said, English is not a measurement in this, and also your education is not highly affected. Even though if you don't have much, if you've been studying a lot and you recently graduated PhD client, you're then eligible to apply for this visa as well. But you need to demonstrate how are you expert in the sector, what sort of global recognition you have, and maybe future job opportunities might give you an opportunity on this as well. So if you have any questions that you would like to I would like to take up, any questions that you might have. So if you have a question, please put your question down below in the comment section, so I will go through it, whether you're coming from YouTube or Facebook. And also I would like to remind that we currently our borders are open, so we are expecting to travel overseas soon. I'll tell you about our next event coming up in a week or so at the end. So if you're from that region, you're welcome to come and visit us, have a chat, and discuss things. From YouTube, thank you for your compliment. When New South Wales opened for RDA ROI, at the moment it's closed. Also, which RDA is the best for the Health and Welfare Services Manager, not elsewhere classified, Orana or Far South Coast. I think they both are good. I know ROIs are closed, but the ROI round will be opening up the last quarter. So hopefully within the month, the worst case scenario early April. So I cannot give you a guaranteed date. It's not in my control, and they don't share that sort of information with us. But we expecting to have that ROI open very soon. Nitesh, can a full-time master's course be converted to a part-time if the employer is offering a visa sponsorship for full-time job? Will the course fee change after the visa has been granted? Very good question, Nitesh. So it depends on what sort of visa you're in. If you're in a student visa, you have obligation to study full-time. And I know these days the student visas conditions been released a little bit, allowing you to work full-time, and that is subject to be reviewed on in April. But this is not a reason, working full-time is not a reason for you to go part-time, because your visa conditions requires you to be enrolled and working full-time in your course. So you can, because you're doing masters, maybe if you completed your bachelor's degree and have some work experience and you're eligible to apply for a work visa, then you can apply for a work visa, but you cannot start working full-time or drop your course until your visa is granted. So you have to be very careful with this. This is a common question we being asked these days with applicants, because with the relaxation of the student visa working hours, a lot of people trying to cut down their uni workload, and this is not what you expected to do. And please don't get your visa cancelled just by breaching the conditions. What the government did is they relaxed working hours, so you can work extra, but they did not change anything with the requirement or the condition that you're required to work full-time, study full-time in Australia. So Harvinder second, you have a question. Can you tell me what if we switch courses from masters to bachelors? Do we need to apply for new visa? It depending on how you do it and what reason is behind it. Some students, for an example, they come to study Master of Information Systems with a bachelor's degree behind them. Bit of a complicated area, but I think you'll understand it this way. So Master of Information Systems requires a little bit of business skills as well as IT skills. So when you're doing the masters in this area, if you feel you're not comfortable with having the full suit, or if you wanted to go back and study a bit of IT again, you can go back to bachelor's, but within the reasons. So depending on your scenario, you need to get it clarified a little bit better. If you're going from Masters of Information Systems to Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Civil Engineering or something, to comply with the GTE, I think it will be a better idea for you to apply for a new visa. If you'd like to clarify this further, Harvinder, I would suggest you call us or send us an email to admin@sirus.com.au or education@sirus.com.au. So one of our education agents will look further into the background and give you an answer. So Rupal Kanuja, hello team. I have a question that what is section 56 and request by case officers, and how much time it takes to case officer to finalize the visa after submission of all the documents for section 50. Section 56 is a further information request. So once you apply for a visa, if the a case officer is not satisfied with all the documents that you have submitted, or if they need to clarify further, they can ask for further information. They can send you a further information request. Normally 21 to 28 days you have to submit it back, and it is critical. If you can't submit this information within the given time, you should in writing get an extension by a case officer. For an example, it's a common issue these days. A lot of people having issues to get your police clearance certified or police clearance granted, or book a medical examination within the time. If that's the case, you have to get an extension in writing, and then apply for and then submit the request. So how long would it take? I would normally say it can, if the case officer is fully satisfied with all the documents that you have resubmitted, your visa can be finalized within. It can take up to 28 days, depending on what stage and what information they're processing, unless they need to clarify further information. Dream Win's got a question. Can we apply for TOEFL score overall 89 of masters or double masters from India, graduate in 2013 and MBA HR in 2015, work experience from 2015, spouse visa, possible visa chances with TOEFL. TOEFL is acceptable in Australia as a measurement of English language. So it's not a deciding with favor. You won't get any favors or disadvantage by doing TOEFL. I don't. If you have a proper reason why you want to come and study in Australia, and you have a genuine relationship, if you want to bring your spouse, I don't see why not. Canadian refusal, again, Dream, it's a separate issue to us. I mean, to Australian application. Then again, remember with Australian education applications, we have to be mindful what's your genuine temporary entrant criteria. So you have to demonstrate that you're a genuine temporary entrant and you come to Australia to really study, and you want to focus on studying and what you want to gain, and then what's your plan to go back, and what incentives you have going back to your home country. Aman Bari, what are the chances of state nomination under 491 subclass visa? My score is 95, very good, including state nomination score, which is 15 points. My occupation is university lecturer. But I mean, which state are you applying for, and which are you currently onshore or offshore matters for this answer. So offshore, there's not many options available. Onshore, there'll be more options. 95 is very good points for 491. So if you're onshore and applied for this 491, I think you'll have a good opportunity. Dream Rupal, all sessions are really very informative. I request you to please make a detailed one on section 56. Thank you, Rupal. We'll work on it soon. We've been flat out with work and been lagging creating videos, but we look forward to do more with these borders opening. We're trying to reach our audience in person a little bit more as well. Hence, I will notify about an event that we're conducting in Sri Lanka in end of next week on 12th of March. Very good session. We've got some university representatives are coming with us as well. I will talk further about it. So with all this participation, we are lacking a bit with new productions in videos, but we will get into it. Daibo, will it be easy to find a relevant job if I study Masters of Information Technology in Australian universities such as University of Queensland? Yes. I think it depends on the demand and what sort of experience you have. IT is, to what my experience, what I'm seeing last few months, demand for IT has gone over the roof. We've done quite a few 482, 186 applications for their work visas for IT sector people, which shows us the demand has increased. So as long as you have enough work experience together with your education background, I think you'll have good chances to find a relevant job in the work experience areas. So Aman Bari, kindly clarify whether date of appearing in language proficiency test is considered to date which is mentioned consider valid for 2 years or 3 years, whichever may be. Very good question, Aman. I think it's so confusing because a lot of clients see this in especially on PTE result sheet. It says 2 years. For migration purposes, the English test that you have taken is valid for 3 years. So I know certain like PTE result sheet says 2 years, but it is for I don't know, for academic reasons or etc. But for Australian migration purposes, your English result is valid for 3 years. Mon Marino, hello team, I'm international master's student onshore here in Brisbane. Oh, I hope you're staying dry. I wish to visit my family offshore and come back. Can I do it without any problem? You're an international master's student currently in Brisbane. So if you're in a student visa, you can go and come back. That's not a problem. The borders are now open for students to go out and come back, as long as you follow the border requirements. Australian requirements, you need to have the test results for COVID within 3 days, I think. And but make sure you check with your own country wherever you go. You complying with that too, and then you can come back. And make sure you have enough visa to come back to. Mohammed Naeem, good day. Can someone having 491 visa from South Australia directly go to some other region or need to go to South Australia first? Mohammed, very good question. Short answer is no, because there is once you get a nomination from one state, you're expected to go and live in that state. But if you mean when you for an example, you got a 491 South Australian invitation and a visa grant, and you're currently offshore, can you stop by in Brisbane for a day and go back? That's not a problem. You can come to Melbourne for a couple of days and then take a flight from there. That's not a problem. But if you're expecting you got the 491 grant from South Australia and you now want to live and work in Queensland or Victoria, that's not the deal. That's not allowed from your visa conditions. So you're expected to be in South Australia within the 5 years, at least 3 years, and then apply in your own wish. You can apply for 191 to become a permanent resident, and then you can do what you want. Kazi Asif, I finished my bachelor's of from Facebook in accounting on February. So within how many months I have to apply for 485 visa? So as long as you got your completion letter, Kazi, you can apply anytime, but you're required to apply for your 485 visa within 6 months of your last student visa. So remember, you need to get your uh, get your English done, your police clearance done, etc., etc. So 485 has a lot of at the time of primary visa application requirement to make it a valid visa application. So it takes a little while as well. You don't need to wait till you graduated. You go through the graduation ceremony to apply for this 485 visa. What matters is your completion letter. So from that letter, 6 months. So if you, depending on scenario, you decide whether you apply right away or you wait a little bit until towards the end of your student visa. So that's where you need a proper guidance on your my PR pathway or migration pathway. If you consider in that way, I would recommend to talk to a qualified or registered migration agent about your permanent residency pathway right now, because I think it is important that you know where you're heading. And you're doing accounting also is a bit of a challenging area because of many applications, but there's a lot of negative discussions about it. I wouldn't worry too much about it as long as you fulfill all the requirements and you have competitive points. Talk about it, and then you may have other pathways other than general skill migration as well. So it is important for you to go talk to a registered migration agent and draft your pathway properly and plan your migration pathway. I'll talk to hi Lena. Any news on what immigration changes may be forthcoming for mid-year 2022? Look, we're expecting there'll be lot more incentives coming towards the offshore applicants, but there's nothing solid. There'll be lots of opportunities for onshore students, and one of the big one I'm expecting is the clients in short-term skill occupation list to have a permanent residence pathway through 186, etc. They in cards. There's been lots of discussions, but there's no solid information. I think hopefully next month we'll have the agri visa sorted out. There's a lot of clients contacting us about it too. So long discussion short, we don't have any solid information to share with you right now with the 2022 program, but as soon as it's properly available, we'll be one of the first to tell you. Maksit Rawood, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name, sir. We're quite doing okay at the moment, being beside being busy. Wanted to ask how long further processing status takes for TSS 482 visa after submitting Form 80 and medical examination results. From South Africa, thank you for the awesome content. Thank you very much. So Maksit, my rule of thumb is, if normally after, depending on whether you're in PMSOL or not as well, but normally once you've done your Form 80 and medical examination, it's normally around 4 weeks or so. So you should receive the visa very soon, in short. And if you come by Brisbane, say hi to us when you go in past. And thank you for joining us. Rahil Khan has a question. What are the chances for 491 in South Australia for ANSCO 263111 offshore applicants? 263111 computer network. To my memory, you're in the new list of offshore applicants invitation list. As long as you have the required IELTS and the work experience and good points, I think you'll have a good chance. But it will be a bit it'll be a little competitive than you would have done it in Australia, while on shore. So I don't know what score you're sitting at the moment, but yeah, it'll be a little bit more competitive than that you'd have been in Australia. New UC, hi, I'm working as an ICT engineer in MNC. Is degree certificate required for skill assessment? Because I lost it to the university. People are not responding properly. Well, do you have your transcripts and a completion letter? Then you can circumvent your degree certificate. But see what you can find, at least the transcript, and the other way is to take out 5 years of your work experience towards this too. So I would rather not waste it. So see how you go. If you need further clarifications, please be in touch. I will set up a time one-on-one with you. Dreamwin, is this score sufficient for overall 89 and each listening 26 and 25, speaking 17? I'm not clear. How did you get 89 if you got listening 26, writing 25, reading 21 and speaking 17? As speaking score is 17, will have any effect on the visa until uni accept the score. So you're applying for a student visa. So depending on the university and your visa requirement as well. So I guess we'd probably need a little bit more information about you before we can give you an answer on this. Kindly do contact us through admin@sirus.com.au. We will have a one-on-one chat and discuss if there's a way we can circumvent it and what nationality you're from, etc. Excuse me. So Bikram Singh, question is, which state can the cafe manager can hope to get nomination for 491? So the only issue is how many points, and the bad part is at the moment 491 offshore. 491 offshore is not open for many states, but New South Wales certain regions, I can't tell you which one, etc. And South Australia might consider. Being the cafe manager, my experience is not too positive, Bikram, in this. You might have other options, other pathways, but for 491 I wouldn't keep too much hopes unless you have a lot of experience and points behind you and other reasons, specialities, etc. But sorry to be negative, but I don't think I'll be very positive about 491 visa with your background that you presented there. VSINI, can I withdraw my student visa file and apply for COVID visa, please? It doesn't actually work that way. COVID visa also is still there, but I don't know for you. I think you're talking about 408. I don't know how long would it be there, and it's not demonstrating. I mean, it's not promising because the borders are open. You can freely travel in and out, and you cannot withdraw your student visa. You can apply for another visa on top of it to override it, but you have to comply with your visa. But I'm not sure in what circumstances you are looking to do this. If you need a further advice on it, please be in touch. We'll talk more about your background and see how you go. So I think it's almost getting to the time that we have to wrap up, but I will go through the next couple of questions to Rahil's question, and then I'll wrap it up for the day. Is there any news for 189 for accountants? I have 100%. I think you're talking about 100 points. Yes. Yep. So 100 point 189. I'm not sure. I can't remember what would have been the grants. 100 to 105 for accountant. Saidul is not too bad for onshore. 190. 189. I can't comment on it right now, but it's good points. 105, 110. Accounting is very competitive, accountant. So 100 points. I'm not sure. Maybe if you have that many points, you should consider other visa options as well, rather than waiting long for this. If you were to find a if you were to find a job opportunity from an Australian employer, you should be able to, because accountant also in PMSOL list, you'll have a quicker answer, quicker visa to come to Australia, and quicker migration pathway as well. So Mohan Vijay Singh, I have 8 years experience in PT 73 in each band and overall 79. What is the possible to get genuine invitation for sales and marketing manager in South Australia? I'm from Sri Lanka. 70 points. I think your English is good, your experience is good, Mohan, but I think you might find 70 points might be a bit tough to get an invitation from offshore at this stage, especially for sales and marketing manager. So I'm not too positive about it, but there's nothing stops you applying for an EO either. You tick those boxes. Last question for the day. Apart from Rahil, apart from SA, has any other state accepting applicants from offshore, applicants for normal occupation like computer system and network engineer? Yes, New South Wales accepting, but what points do you have? And but they're closed for the time being anyway for ROIs. So you'll have to probably wait a little bit. Again, Rahel, maybe consider other pathways as well, but I can't remember what's your points for SA. SA is being very generous. If you've seen the number of grants earlier in this video, you'll see. If you haven't seen it, we'll be reposting this video very soon, so you can go back and see. SA has been very active with the 491 program as well. So if you have good points, you'll have good opportunities in SA too. So New South Wales, I can't remember the regions, but keep an eye out for which regions available. If you want to write to us, I will give you further information about which state, etc. So that's it for the questions, but I will, as I said, we're doing regional expos to reach you closer, so we can talk to you one-on-one, explain the migration options and education options to you in person. On 12th of March 2022, which is not this Saturday coming, Saturday after, we'll be joining Australian Education Expo in Sri Lanka. If you haven't noticed the event, I think if you know someone who's willing to get more information about migration and education options, I think it's a good opportunity for you to join and get further information about Australian migration pathways and education pathways, whether you're coming to study or you're looking at expanding your business, I'll be there. So I will help as much as I can to put your application together as well. So we've got quite a few university and institutes joining us together with us as well, and my fellow advisors are joining me, so you'll be able to ask many questions and plan many pathways, whether it's student pathways or migration pathways, together with us. And if you have all your education and CVs and passport, etc., and if you're eligible to apply right then, we'll be able to issue offer letters on the spot on that day as well. So make sure you bring all your documentation together with you. So I'll be one of the guest speakers. We've got Austrads coming to join with us as well. I'm pretty sure they will be presenting some good information, insights to migration pathways, migration programs, and Mickey Chabra, head of our education, is going to be there. Mark Harris from Macklin College, and also Chami Jayamaha from Southern Cross University and Educo Group. They're not just one university focused. They've got a network of universities all around the world, not just in Australia. So you'll be able to reach out to a lot of information through this event. So it's in Sri Lanka, BMICH. Everyone knows where it is, in Colombo, Bauda Lokamauta. This is on 2000. We are in Sapphire Hall. The event will start from 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock to 10:30. Also, we'll have guest speakers speaking, and this will be a very good event to opportunity for you to get some industry insights and know know information and facts a little bit further. So I highly recommend you to be there around 10 o'clock if you're in Sri Lanka, in Colombo, or from elsewhere. We only allocated one event this time in BMICH, and then whoever wants to see us afterwards, in coming days, we will give you opportunities throughout there. If you'd like to get more information about this event, or if you want to book a one-on-one interview with any of us, I think it's best for you to write to admin@sirus.com.au or info.colombo@sirus.com.au. So info.colombo@sirus.com.au. That way you can confirm your time slot with one of us. And again, this is a free event. We don't want to charge you anything. I can't apply for visas right then, but I'll look forward to share my knowledge and guide you as much as I can, and so are all the other participants. The college participants are expected to be there and guide you through as well. As I said, on the spot offer letters are possible too. Hopefully we'll see you on Saturday morning, 10 o'clock in Colombo. And if you need any further assistance, contact us through any of these contact details. Our local officers will be able to guide you further as well. If you're in Sri Lanka, we've got couple of clients who are visiting us from Maldives and India, who already booked the time. They come in to see us in Colombo. So if you want to book those dedicated time between you and us, I think it is important for us to important for you to book the time with us one-on-one. And it'll be exciting. It's the first time that we go out from Australia after a few years with the COVID issues, and again, we just came out of the COVID, and currently, you probably, if you're following Australian news, you would know there's a big flood that we went through in. The rain's still continuing in next couple of days too in Queensland, especially in Brisbane and surrounding areas, as well as in New South Wales, certain areas. So a lot of people got affected by these floods, and our prayers and thoughts are with you, and we hope it will be all over very soon, and stay away from the flood waters and be safe. And you don't want to hear any more bad news. This is, as we promised, 2022 is an exciting new step towards a good future. It's going to be better next year. So thank you again for joining us for this Australian migration info session, and we'll be expecting to see you again in first week of April, and in between we'll be producing more videos. If you're in Colombo, please don't forget to say hello and meet us and have a yarn, and look forward to see you there, and see you back in another 4 weeks. And until then, stay blessed. God bless you all. Thank you for joining.